Welcome back, time to Newcomers Alike, to another episode of 999. We're about to go into the next puzzle room. Let's do this. The door had opened. A narrow hallway stretched out before them. Lotus and Clover leapt through the door. The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonators on the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his left, towards door 7. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. She turned and looked toward him. Their eyes met. They nodded. Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds. Then someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hauled him bodily through the door. He heard the sound of the numbered door slam shut behind him. His bracelet gave a cold, electronic beep.
81 seconds left. Hurry!
Lotus snapped at him and ran to the dead. Junpei and Clover followed her as fast as they could.
Phew. It stopped.
With a shaking hand, she wiped a few beads of sweat from her forehead. Clover, however, was calm, aloof perhaps.
Pointless.
She muttered to herself without emotion and began to walk down the hallway, leaving behind a confused Junpei and Lotus. Lotus watched the girls receding back with a mix of frustration and curiosity.
What an unpleasant girl. I bet she's not too popular with the boys.
Her sarcasm seemed a little more biting than was perhaps necessary, but she sighed and started after the younger girl. After taking a moment to catch his breath, Junpei followed. The hallway made a number of turns before at last coming to a dead end. Set into the wall on the left side was a large iron door. For a few minutes, they stood in front of the door, examining it. Above the door was a plate with the word laboratory engraved on it.
A laboratory, huh?
That doesn't sound very pleasant. I don't like the look of this place.
Me either. But there aren't any other doors. It's not like we have a lot of choices.
Junpei.
Huh?
Please, you first.
Junpei suspected her politeness was motivated by something other than respect.
Ugh.
Junpei muttered to himself and pushed open the iron door. His first steps inside were tentative and careful, but as he examined the room, it became clear that there was no imminent danger. Lotus followed him in, and Clover brought up the rear. The room they found themselves in was divided into 2 separate areas by a curved wall. A thick glass window built into that wall made it possible to see into the other side of the division. Junpei walked to the window and looked through.
What the hell?
He wasn't sure what else to say. In the center of the room, shaped like a quarter circle, a mannequin lay on what looked like a medical exam table.
That looks so creepy.
Junpei jumped a little. He hadn't noticed Lotus come up next to him.
You don't think that thing is going to suddenly sit up or something, do you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, look at all those cables sticking out of it. If we press the wrong button, I don't know.
Stop it. Just thinking about it is terrifying.
She was gripping her arms, the knuckles on her hands white. It was then that Junpei noticed Clover. She was still standing near the entrance of the room. Her face had the appearance of calm, but it was drawn and somehow sad. So there was something almost pitiful about her. Junpei walked over to her and as kindly as he could, spoke.
Are you okay?
Clover looked away.
What are you talking about?
What? I'm just worried about you. You've been real quiet.
What, I can't be quiet if I want to?
Well, I mean, of course you can. I just...
Okay, then if I can be quiet if I want, just leave me alone, okay?
Come on, you know I can't do that. We gotta work together.
Clover bit her lip and was silent for a moment. Then suddenly...
Junpei, you just don't get it!
Her cry took Junpei by surprise, and he stumbled backward a few steps, alarmed.
My brother's not the kind of person who just leave me behind. Something happened to him. Something bad.
Junpei had nothing to say. Lotus, jolted from her mannequin nightmares by Clover's voice, turned toward them.
What happened?
Clover's eyes slid to Lotus, then back to Junpei.
Look, just don't bother me, okay? Leave me alone.
Finished, she turned around. Before Junpei or Lotus could say anything, Clover had begun to walk quickly away.
Hey! Wait, Clover! Hold on!
He might as well have been talking to a wall, for all the notice she took of his cries. Not even slowing down, she made for a doorway cut in the wall in front of her. Without even slowing down, she passed through the doorway. And without warning, an iron gate fell from the ceiling like a portcullis, sealing Clover in.
What the heck? What's going on here?
Clover grabbed hold of the iron bars and shook them as hard as she could.
Hang on! I'll get it open.
Junpei grabbed the bars and pulled. In a moment, Lotus joined him. The three of them pulled as hard as they could, but...
Damn it! Stop moving.
Wait! Are you just gonna give up? Just like that?
No, I'm not giving up. This has got to be another one of Zero's puzzles.
If it is, then there's gotta be a way to open it.
Junpei nodded.
Just what I was thinking. Now all you gotta do is find it. Lotus and I can look around out here. Clover, you're gonna have to see if you can find anything in there.
Yes, I'm on it.
Alright, here we go. Another room. Let's do this. Now, if I do remember correctly, I don't remember this room being very hard. So we'll just have to find out. Let's see. A window made of really thick glass. I don't even think a bullet could break it.
Is this like an examination table? There's a creepy mannequin in here, guys.
What about this?
I think this thing is a monitor for whatever experiment they were running here. There's a bunch of stuff on here like resistance value and voltage. Power's off, so there's nothing on it right now.
Just examine everything here.
I don't know what kind of table this is, but part of it's all black. And there's a pen line over here. I think someone probably used it to make the table black.
Well, if they only used the pen on one part of it, there's probably something underneath all that pen. Clover, do you think you can erase it?
Yeah, sure. Oh, this is a permanent marker. Junpei, do you know how to erase ink from a permanent marker?
Erase ink from a permanent marker. Give me just a minute, Clover. I'll be right back.
Erase ink from a permanent marker. Okay, so we gotta find something to erase the ink. Well, let's see what we can find here.
There's a lot of stuff here.
I don't know how we could use any of these.
Well, I can say for sure that I know how to use at least one of these things.
Which one?
The one on top. I think it's a power cable.
The power cable, huh?
Alright, got a power cable. Now what are we gonna do with that? Let's see. The monitor doesn't have a power cable, so one end of this cable needs to be connected to the monitor, and the other end needs to plug in under the desk. Alright, let's just slip you in.
Well, shoot. Can't use this.
What's wrong?
This cable has 3 prongs, but the socket only has 2 holes. It's not gonna fit, is what I'm saying.
In other words, we're gonna need a plug to turn the power cable into one with 2 prongs.
That's right.
Okay then, so we can't do anything over there. It's a shame I don't remember this room better. Alright, let's see here. Whole bunch of steel lockers. The 9 on the right all have little red lights.
Red lights, huh? Well, it can't hurt to give these babies a try. Yep, just as I thought. Locked tight. All 9 of them.
I wonder if there's anything important in there.
There must be. What's in here? Aha! Ethanol! That must be to clean the permanent marker off. Let's give it to Clover.
Clover, use this ethanol. You should be able to wipe off that permanent ink with it.
What am I gonna wipe with?
Oh, well, your clothes, of course. Just kidding. Please don't look at me like that. You're scaring me.
Okay, what you gonna wipe?
It looks like this door is the exit. The door on the right just goes to the laboratory.
Nope, this door isn't going anywhere. No dice. It won't open. I mean, that's about as much as I expected.
I don't think Zero would let us out of the room quite that easily.
What about
Hey, Clover!
this?
There's a door over here, too!
Wait, I'll be right there.
I can hear her over there. Is this door gonna... Damn it! Can't open it. Clover, what about your side?
It won't work. I can't even move the knob.
Okay, so you can't even move the knob over there. I see. We still gotta find... What about these boxes? It's a cardboard box. There's some papers and stuff in it.
What's in the box? It looks like it's quite full.
As far as I can tell, it's a bunch of notes about some kind of experiments. But it's all really technical and stuff. I don't really get it.
Okay, what's over here now? It's the keyhole.
This looks like a keyhole for the activation key.
Anything else here? Nope. Various pieces of equipment that we don't need right now. What about down here? Nope. Can't go down there? Alright. What about underneath the computer, maybe? I don't know. Don't think that's it. I don't have anything that I could put the ethanol on. I don't even have the ethanol anymore, so that's not anything right now. Crap, what else is in this room? It's not even that big of a room. What if we just talk to Clover now?
Anyway, could you wipe off that permanent ink? Look, Clover. Right now, at this moment, you're the only one I can depend on. I'm trusting you with this.
You trust me. I feel kind of special.
What a tease. Good lord. Oh, maybe I have to look in the window and see if there's anything in there. What about... What's over here?
It's a rack. There are a bunch of cables on it. Somebody cut the outer stuff off the cables. I can see the wires inside.
Alright. Oh,
I wonder
what about that?
washed here. There are these weird colored stains all over the sink.
Why don't you put the ethanol in there?
I wonder what this is. This thing here looks like a voltmeter. And is this the control for that? Gosh, there's so many dials.
Why don't you try turning one of them?
Nope. Nothing. There's no power here, guys. I turned the dial a whole bunch, but even if I turn all the switches on, nothing happens.
Okay, so that's a dud right now.
Clover, can you use the cloths on the table?
Use... huh?
Soak it in ethanol, and then use it to wash all the stuff from the permanent ink, okay?
Right, okay. So I gotta soak the cloth with ethanol.
Okay, well, whatever works. Well, she's got the cloth, but she seems to be having a little trouble with a bottle of ethanol. When she's ready, I should ask her to get to work on that stuff on the table.
Soak the cloth with ethanol and... Junpei! It's working! It's wiping the permanent ink off! Huh? There's some kind of weird drawing under all this permanent ink.
What's the deal with that drawing Clover found? Maybe I should ask her to take another look at the table.
I wonder what this is. There are a bunch of numbers in some kind of grid.
I can't see it from here. Clover, you got a pen and notebook, right? Could you write those numbers down and then hand them to me through the bars?
Okay. Roger.
Alright, let's go back to the bars then. Looks like we're making progress. Aw, yeah.
Here, Junpei. I wrote down all the numbers from the desk on here.
Paper with numbers on it acquired. New material has been added to the file screen. Cool. Alright, let's see here. Paper with numbers. Clover's note. There we go. 3241. Okay, well, we'll have to remember that for later, I guess. This probably has something to do with the lockers, maybe. Although I don't know.
I think this thing's supposed to power that machine in the other room.
Well, it doesn't appear to be doing that. I wonder how we're supposed to turn it on.
Probably with the cable, somehow. Power cable with 3 prongs. Whoops, no, go back. Freak. Is there any place that requires 3 prongs? Various pieces of equipment, some of them might be useful, whatever. Whatever.
There are 2 levers here. Do you think they activate something?
Well, why don't you move one?
Alright, I'll give it a try. Nope. Doesn't look like anything's happened.
I wonder what this cable's connected to.
Okay. One side of this thing is in the room with us. The other expands into the laboratory where Clover is.
In other words, the console in front of us is connected to the device in the laboratory.
Cool. Okay, then. What is this? Keyhole that might be able to activate this thing if I put in the right key. Well, duh. I bet you get that key from the lockers or something.
The hands on the clock have stopped moving.
The clock may stop, but time goes on. No time to screw around. We need to figure out a way out of here.
You sure do. Alright. Any of these?
These lockers are a little larger than the ones on top.
Let's see if there's anything useful in here. And no. Nothing.
Dang it. A whole bunch of lockers, 9 of them are locked. I can't go in and click on them or anything? I mean, I have that grid. Okay, what about... Might as well be made of steel. Yeah, shut up.
Is there anything unusual on that machine?
Well, I don't know, you know? There are a bunch of cords hanging from the bottom of it. Jeez, this is a lot of cords. It looks like they all go over here into the mannequin's head.
So the device and the mannequin are connected. What the heck were they doing in there? Oh man, back when this laboratory was active, that wasn't a mannequin in there. I bet. It was a real-life human on that table. I wonder what... No, I don't want to think about that. Okay, get the cables. It's a rack. There are some cables on top of it with copper wire exposed. Can't get the cables, okay.
There's something sticking out of the mannequin's head. Like, wires or something.
What the hell were they doing in there? Huh? Why is she all quiet now?
They were doing experiments on humans. Probably.
Hey, Clover. How are the power cables over there?
Huh? What do you mean?
Does the plug have 3 prongs or 2?
I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go look.
Guess she does have to kind of crouch down to get a look under there.
The cable on the monitor has, it's got 2 of those little metal things. What does that mean?
That's it! Okay, can you unplug that cable and bring it over here?
Okay, but...
But?
Well, I can unplug it, but it's connected to the main computer. I can't take it over to you.
Damn it, that's no good then.
Well, how about just the plug?
What?
The plug? Well, maybe more like a connector. It's a sort of thing that makes the plug with the 3 metal thingies into a plug with two metal thingies. Still useless?
Not useless. Not useless at all. That's just what we were looking for.
Okay. Can you hold on for a little bit?
And back down she goes.
Alright. Unplugged. I'll hand it to you over at the bars, okay?
Cool. Alright, back to the bars.
Here you go. The two-prong plug.
Thanks.
Alright, now we can freaking get that computer working. After we, combine these, of course. Okay, put the two-prong plug onto the head of this power cable. Ta-da! That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's go back to that freaking computer. Yes, where are you, freaking computer? There you are. Alright, I've got the two-prong power cable in my hand. Pretty sure this will work. Under the desk I go. And let's just plug this thing into the monitor.
Alright, that ought to do it.
Alright, let's turn the power on.
I don't think anything's gonna happen.
Why not?
Well, it's not connected to the main computer.
You never know until you try.
Pretty optimistic. Alright, what do we got? Junpei pushed the button on the front of the monitor. With a soft hum, it turned on. Streams of letters that made no sense to Junpei began to scroll across the screen. He had hoped it would turn on, but he hadn't expected this.
Huh? It's actually working?
So it would seem.
Lotus just pulled a snake there.
Isn't that kinda weird? Well, it's not connected to the main computer, right? There's just this keyboard and a monitor. The only cable connected to this thing is the power cable we just plugged in. So, why is it working?
Maybe it's a wireless display.
Clearly, this was a reasonable explanation to Lotus.
Wireless display?
Yes, it connects to your computer wirelessly. Hence the name. Have you been living in a cave, Junpei?
He most certainly had not, but...
Is that normal?
Yes, at least where I worked.
As they spoke, the lines of letters suddenly stopped and disappeared. The only thing left on the screen was the word pass, followed by a colon.
Looks like we need to enter a password.
Again. There must be a hint around here somewhere.
Could you go take a look?
Yeah, I'm on it. What are you gonna do?
I'll see if I can do anything about this on my own.
On your own?
Yep, on my own.
Lotus pulled over the nearest chair and dropped herself down on it in front of the keyboard. For a second she stared at the screen. She kneaded her hands, knuckles popping, and twisted her back left, then right.
Alright, let's kick some ass.
Lotus smiled to herself and rubbed her hands together in anticipation. Oh, I apologize for breaking narration character, but this scene always makes me laugh. He's totally staring at her boobs. Then before Junpei had time to blink, she was typing... I don't even see how she could see the keyboard over those things, honestly. Then before Junpei had the time to blink, she was typing at an incredible speed. The click-clack of keys running together like machine gun fire.
What?
Junpei was, for once, at a loss for words.
Didn't expect that, did you?
Of course I didn't! What kind of job do you have? What are you?
I'm unemployed at the moment. I used to work for a cybersecurity firm, but I, quit.
Why?
Lotus blinked.
Huh? Oh, it was just... something.
She stopped typing for a moment and her face fell. This was not an avenue of questioning to be pursued, Junpei realized, and quickly shut his mouth. Lotus's fingers began to move again, and in a few seconds she was back up to speed. As she typed, more letters and symbols that meant nothing to Junpei began to pour across the screen.
What are you doing now?
I'm going to try and brute force it.
Brute what?
A brute force attack is... well, the short version is that I attack the thing head on. The long version is...
Without looking up or slowing down, she began to explain. A brute force attack is one of the simplest ways to break a cipher, she told him. It checks every possible combination until it finds the right one. For a complex cipher, it can take a very long time. The thought of doing something like that made Junpei feel tired, but Lotus explained that she was writing a program that would run such an attack on its own.
It's not the most elegant solution, certainly. But, given the circumstances, there isn't much else I can do.
Even as she talked, her fingers never slowed or missed a key. Junpei couldn't help but feel a little odd.
Oh, but back to what we were talking about earlier.
What were we talking about?
The wireless display. It's kind of strange if you think about it, isn't it? How do I put it? Well, let's say you write a program that calculates an addition problem for you, alright? So you enter 1 plus 1. The screen will show you 2. See? Isn't that strange?
No. Not really.
Come on now. Of course a caveman like you would think it was strange. You said so just a minute ago. You're just not getting it, are you? Who calculated 1 plus 1?
The main computer, right? You said it's connected to the monitor wirelessly.
Yeah, but someone who grew up in a cave wouldn't know that, right? They'd probably think that this thing here, the monitor, is doing the calculating. And once they've decided that, they'll start examining this monitor. They might poke the screen or something. Ah, I see. The color changes when I press it here. Then they might investigate the hardware on the inside. Ah, I see. So this wire supplies power. Eventually, they might even cut the wires. Ah, yes, just as I expected. When this wire is cut, no results appear. Therefore, it must be this device which does the calculations. But the truth is that just like you said, the computer is doing the calculating. But these cave people wouldn't know that. Because they have no idea that the monitor and computer are connected wirelessly.
Lotus continued to type. Junpei scratched his head.
So, what are you trying to say?
Nothing. Really. It's just... I thought maybe. What if the relationship between human beings and our brains is like that?
Huh?
Well, let's say you stick a bunch of electrodes into parts of the brain. A scientist examining the signals they send off might say, "Interesting, so stimulating this part of the brain causes this person to see colors. That must mean that this neuron cluster controls that function. Okay, let's see what happens when I cut out this part. Ah, just what I thought. Cutting off this part causes their function to cease. Therefore, human thought processes must occur in the human brain." You get it? It's just like this monitor. Maybe the brain is just an output device, like this monitor. Maybe our thought processes actually occur somewhere else, in a main body. We just don't know it. We never even think about it. Just like those cave people wouldn't know about wireless communications. We can't imagine that there's some unknown medium that transfers information into our brains, where we experience that information as thoughts.
Junpei didn't say anything. Not so much because he had no retort. No, her argument just seemed silly, and he was a little surprised to be hearing something like it from someone like her. The brain is just an output device? Human thought actually occurs somewhere else? Did Lotus really think that, he wondered? It was a little creepy, Junpei thought. It sounded altogether too much like a bizarre cultist religion.
Maybe that's the cause of Seven's amnesia.
Oblivious to Junpei's increasing discomfort, Lotus continued.
If memory is actually stored somewhere else, in some sort of main body somewhere, maybe he hasn't forgotten anything at all. He's just having a difficult time accessing his memories through the monitor. His brain has been damaged. I suppose that would explain aphasias and blindsight, too. Perhaps they actually can speak or see. The monitor just isn't functioning properly. I guess people with prosopagnosia could be suffering from the same thing.
Wait a minute. What?
We're gonna find out next episode. Rate, comment, subscribe, favorite, and see you guys next time.